All right, Juicy Scoopers. I'm really excited for this interview. She's just sat down with me. She is one of the original teen moms. Now she's an entrepreneur, mother, Farrah Abraham.
Thanks for having me.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I put it together on this Woman Crush Wednesday.
I know. You've got a great outfit. You have a boss lady little blazer, but then you still got a little flat stomach showing, so I appreciate that. Made it work.
Yes.
Okay, so Farrah, you've been in the public eye for... Well, a little over like 10 or 11 years.
Maybe it's around 11. I'm getting older.
Yes, because, and we first saw you when in the groundbreaking series when it first began.
16 and Pregnant.
16 and Pregnant. So that was the first one. Later on, then it became Teen Mom.
Yeah, then all these Teen Mom OG and, I don't know what else now.
So in throughout the years, you've come back to renamed series, like the OG one was the last one you did, right?
Yeah. I mean, every time I come back, I keep making it greater. Right now, the ratings went out, but it's because I left. That's all I can say.
So first of all, so your only daughter, which by the way, I think is sort of interesting that of the OGs, you are the only one that hasn't had another baby.
I mean,
not that there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just kind of interesting.
I'm trying to find the man of my dreams.
You are, okay.
God said don't settle, and I'm not.
No, you shouldn't. But I think that's kind of interesting, actually, so many other ones have had multiple baby daddies and a couple marriages, and
kids, and I'm just like, where is this for me? But I mean, it'll happen when it's supposed to.
Well, you're only 28, so you've got you have plenty of time. So when you found yourself pregnant, how did the show come about?
Yes. Okay. So when I was younger, I was doing like a lot of acting, modeling. That just came natural to me. I was making extra money.
And that was in Nebraska?
Nebraska or wherever we would travel, like California, New York or whatnot.
So wait, as a kid, you were traveling with your parents and getting gigs?
So my parents, they traveled as like top sales executives.
Oh, okay.
So it was very fun to go travel. When I was just very passionate about being outgoing. Mm-hmm. So if I was like, oh, I want to go earn money on my own, like support me in this, they would do it. And
how old were you when you started to get like little modeling and acting gigs?
I mean, I was like in the newspaper, I think, starting like when I was, how old was I? 5? I don't know. I was very outgoing.
So you did like a little like modeling, like Macy's,
or whatever was local and Midwest, because that's where I was from. So then I asked my parents to put me in this etiquette modeling actress, whatever. You guys are gonna laugh, but it was called Barbizon.
Oh, I know about Barbizon.
Yeah, and honestly, I kept that book till this day, and I do have Sophia read the etiquette part, read all those things.
So this is crazy.
Like I love things.
My mom sent my sister and I to the modeling school, John Robert Powers.
Oh, wow.
But really what that course was really etiquette.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like how to get in and out of a car, how you swing your legs. Right. And I remember that part. We did a little bit of walking and modeling. It was also just like really basic, like
just
accessorizing and little dumb stuff like that. But it was really fun, but it was a lot of etiquette.
Yes. So that's why I embrace it still to this day. And I have the book and I, ongoing. But so I was in Barbizon school. It's like a year or 6-month program wherever I was during that time, in between all of the acting, like fun talent jobs and everything, I ended up becoming pregnant through this course.
What do you mean through this? Like, I mean, while you're at the course,
while I'm at the course
with your boyfriend.
Yes, yes, of course. So I had like the love of my life, Derek, my high school sweetheart, and God bless his soul. Like it did not work out in that situation, but I was so like caught off guard as I'm going through this course, and I become pregnant.
So when you find out you're pregnant, you're a sophomore in high school or a junior?
Yeah, I was a sophomore. And Katrina, I had 2 coaches in this program. And
how did you find out? Did you miss your period and take a pregnancy test, or what happened?
So I was at cheerleading camp, and I had like 1 drop of blood, and I was like, where's my period? I mean, I had to call Derek, and I was like, hey, like when I get back into town, like you need to take me to the doctor. We need to go to, I was getting my birth control at Planned Parenthood. So I'm all for Planned Parenthood.
Right.
Okay. So, but there was a lot that went on. I wrote a book about it. But the main thing was Barbizon. I had to tell my coach, Miss Karina, who I don't know why. It's like, somebody who looks up to you and is like, you're going to do so well in a career one way, you really lose sight that you can do well in a career or whatever you set your mind and passions to in a different way, regardless
with a completely different path is what you're saying. A different path can take you even to greater success.
I had like anxiety trying to tell from one kind of a stranger, but someone who was like guiding me and coaching me that I was pregnant. So
you told
I couldn't hide it anymore. So I told Miss Karina, hey, I'm pregnant. I can't go out on these other things that you're sending me out on. I just feel weird. Like I was doing like the ring girl thing, and you wear those cute dresses.
Oh, where you hold up like this is the fourth round of the.
And you're like the cute one, taking pictures after.
God, I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that they would allow someone under 18 to do something like that.
Look, I don't know what was going on. When I was younger, I felt like I was living like a above age, like 21-year-old life. Mm-hmm. Like I was just, I don't know what it was. Either I took advantage of everything or I was just like speeding right through it. But as soon as Karina's like, okay, I understand. And she's like, don't look at it as a negative thing that you're pregnant. Like, let me just redo some things. Let me go look up some castings for you tonight. And like, let's turn this around. So why everybody else, including my own family, was looking at me very harshly, negatively, like I'm a money drain and I'm this or that, or it was so negative. Miss Karina took that around. She found 3 castings. One of those ended up being the 16 and Pregnant for MTV at the time. And Miss Karina is still a huge fan of mine to this day. And I love the women who have supported me, have been passionate, have understood me through all of my, Miss Karina is like, you had loss, you have pregnancy, you have fame, you have this. She's like, I'm never going to judge you. Similar to my grandfather. Mm-hmm. I love people who do not judge me and tear me down for all of the life learning experiences that come to my life.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been I'm super grateful for her.
So she goes, here, you should check out this show. And were you a fan of reality shows at that time? Did you watch
God. Let me just be real. I'm from the Midwest, Iowa. I come home, I watch TRL, I watch TV till I can't watch TV no more. I have to wake up, I go to school, I come back and I watch more TV. I used to buy all of the magazines on the stand, and I was like Mrs. Social Butterfly. Like, I was the most popular person in the whole, 3 cities, states around me. And that, I had my own, little social following online already.
The show.
Yeah. I loved, everything. I just would absorb, everything.
So you meet the casting people through, a phone call, or what? How did it happen at first?
So you know what? This is different than most other shows, and I have to say it like this because a lot of people who get casted on shows now, it's like they've done these shows time and time again. You're just like a little piece in the machine. This one they've never done it before. It wasn't picked up yet. It was literally by luck if they were going to get it picked up. They had to be super selective. And I talked to these people for probably about 3 months on the phone. And before anything was really done or picked up. I was called the next week as casted after I sent in my tape, which was whoa, this is so quick. It's so easy to get casted on these shows. And through my career, I've noticed, I don't know, I must know exactly how I get casted because I've done a lot of one-of-ones and new shows. So it's fun.
You know what's interesting about 16 and Pregnant is the first series I had was this show called Lyricist Lounge on MTV, and it was sketch. And
I love it.
I believe her name's Lauren, who created the show. She was like a little young PA.
Yeah.
And so when I saw 16 and Pregnant and I saw that she created it, I was like, good for her. That's freaking awesome. And the fact that she's still part of it and created it. And I remember
she's actually moved on.
Oh, she has moved on.
And by the way, Lauren, who I love, dear friend, love her. I actually saw her. She left when I did. So we both kind of left some things out. And now she just got back. And I don't know why. We just reached out to each other and rekindled after 2 years. But I love seeing progress. And people sometimes have to go away from what we know in order to better themselves. But wow, has she come a long way.
So they say, okay, we want you for this.
Yeah.
And so how far, and you tell your parents, I always thought they're when the show is successful still and very successful. But I remember I think I had a joke in my act, saying well, at least this makes it easier. You could tell your parents, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I'm going to be on my own reality show. The bad news is it's 16 and pregnant. Grandma, hi. You know,
my mom was not wanting to be a grandma. My mom was anti, don't call me grandma. And I was like, now I look back and I'm like, that's kind of messed up, Mom. But
I mean, we talk about making lemonade out of lemons and really taking advantage of what this was like. And so with the show,
I mean, my parents should be grateful. They got like paychecks and, you know, they got to retire early. Like,
so
God
they,
bless them.
right from the start, it wasn't like, were they getting a check too? Or was it you got the check and they signed a release? And then as your stardom and the show kept coming back, then were they then getting their own paycheck?
Oh, shmoney. Yeah, my parents definitely were first, you support. And then, you know, because they didn't know if this was going to be picked up.
Yeah.
And you know what? There was only a little bit of a handful of girls who got to make it through the first round of 16 and Pregnant. And it happened to me be one of them. So yeah, I definitely hooked up my parents over the years. So yes.
But I think what also was really interesting is that really it was your own reality show because they didn't necessarily find 5 girls that were 16 pregnant in the same town. Mm-hmm. Each girl had their own crew coming and following their story.
Yes.
So when did you guys start to associate with each other as far as other cast members of Teen Mom?
You know what was different for me? I never really was, I don't need to think that everyone from different backgrounds need to come together. Mm-hmm. And I very much was going through like depression and bereavement and some intensive therapy.
Let's just first fill in everybody. So what happened to your
this is
Sophia's dad, your daughter's dad?
Sophia's father passed away when I was 8 months pregnant in a car accident, actually by my house. It was 3 days after Christmas, December 28th of 2009. And the timing was so, guys, I just can't even tell you, from being a teen who's pregnant, trying to graduate high school early, start college.
While filming this.
Yes, guy dies. I'm filming this show.
Wow.
And I'm super pregnant. There was so many changes that went on in those 8 months that I was pregnant. And when Sophia popped out, my whole life was different. So it was so dramatic for me. And that's why, and you said, how do all of our lives and the girls and all of us start intermingling and coming together? And Sophia was 6 months when we did our first reunion in New York City. And honestly, I was like in the trenches of my own like mental health. Mm-hmm. And me and my mom were not getting along.
Yeah.
But this was a big trip and I was trying to do my best to make the most out of it. I just wasn't there I wasn't there with my other cast members. They treated it as such as like me and my mom had our own thing going on and they just didn't want to talk. It wasn't really that. There was so much more. But I understand that they come from a different place. They didn't go through the hardships that I was going through. And it was totally like disconnected. And I think from that setup, it kind of left them like very misunderstanding of me. And I think over the years, just kind of like grew bigger grudges in different ways.
Well, yeah, I could see how that could happen. And then as your star rose and then maybe they then went through their own tragedies of divorces and
depression and loss.
And who's the one girl? Who's the one girl that had the twins? And one of her twin daughters does have some medical issues.
She wasn't on my cast, but she was. I believe her name is Leah, and I did get to meet her, and I wish her the best. But I think when we come from these small towns, and as well being a mom of like 3 and divorces, and a lot of the moms have gone through instances where the communities are like kind of trying to hold them back and screw them up and not help their children and protect them. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I urge some of the moms to actually go to a bigger city, like better legal protection, better protection for their kids. And I understand that some of them cannot because of all their divorces and
and shared custody and whatnot. Yeah.
So there's a lot of overcoming things when you're a mom.
Yeah. So where do you guys live now? Do you live now in LA?
Yeah, I live in LA, Los Angeles, and I couldn't be happier now that I found my neighborhood that I'm safe in. Beverly Hills was not good to me.
Okay. So how long have you lived in the Southern California, LA area?
I think it's been off and on for 3 years.
Okay.
Starting in Hollywood Hills, didn't really gravitate toward that. Then Beverly Hills, they like fake put me in jail and did some nasty things.
What do you mean fake put you in jail?
they said I battered someone, and it was like all over the news. And honestly, I was like, pull those tapes.
Like, we mean like in your neighborhood.
The hotel is called like the Beverly Hotel. The Beverly, it's not the Hilton, but it's like the Beverly Hills Hotel. Oh, there we go. Okay. And they are known for doing some shiesty things to celebrities.
Wait, is the Beverly Hills Hotel the famous one with the polo lounge? And the
yeah,
and the palm trees?
I was arrested in the polo lounge.
You tell me that story, because I don't even know that story.
Oh my God. So, I mean, I literally was like, they put me in confinement.
I think I do remember this.
Yeah,
okay,
they put me in confinement for over 24 hours trying to do background checks.
Okay, so wait,
it was ridiculous.
You were just there, what, having a drink, dinner, what?
So I had some Australian business partners that were in town. They wanted to go there. And, speed through this. I got the footage. These people set me up. They're high-fiving. They're hugging. They're calling security. I actually knew the police
Australian people
yes,
were?
Yep.
Why? What was the benefit to them? Press?
I don't know. Press and sabotaging people. I have no idea why people are negative and nasty. But here's the thing. I never battered anyone. I was like being approached by 20 security doing nothing. They took my cell phone. They had my keys. My car was in valet. They were trying to charge me with trespassing. And I'm lucky that there was footage of this all. And it wasn't just the TMZ footage that was sold of me when I was locked in jail and I couldn't get to anyone. But
so then they put you in the Beverly Hills jail.
Jail, yeah. And I was like, and at that time I was getting ready for a celebrity boxing match. So all of like my boxing and like guides of saving my energy and preserving my self-worth, I just really put that into action because the lady who's down there in the jail just wanted to lie to me and say no one's calling for me. People can lie to me.
So didn't they give her your one call?
Here's the thing. When I'm so flustered and I'm so upset and I'm like, you guys took my phone, you took all my stuff, I don't even have my bag. I was literally like, I can't remember one number. I don't think I could even remember my own number at that time. I was
that is upset. A great lesson for everybody because when
tattoo your number on your arm.
When Luann de Lesseps also was arrested, I don't know if you know, but she had like kind of like a drunken night, again, kind of like a misunderstanding where she walked into someone else's room. Anyway, one of the things she said, I love Luann, is that she said, make sure you have a couple numbers memorized because we've all become so dependent on how easy it is to have a phone.
Yes.
I have my husband and my sister's numbers, and my sister is a criminal defense attorney. So maybe I'll give you her number to memorize.
Please.
But everyone definitely should have like at least 3 numbers memorized in your head.
Yes.
Like a best friend, an attorney, and the closest person in your family.
Yeah, I was just so taken off guard from like the whole shystiness of everything and upsetment that I literally couldn't remember anything. And then when I even tried to phone, all I could really remember was my grandma's phone number who's in Iowa. And I tried to use her phone and it wasn't working properly. So I was just like, you know what? I like heard the lady at the front desk going upside down the other. And I was just like, your phone doesn't work. The cord's literally 5 inches long. I can't even like move away from the wall. But I go, if I get out of here and if I see and I know that over 100 people called me, you're going to get sued for not letting me have like a peace of mind. I go, my child is out there. I'm a single mom. What do you think you're doing with me being in here for so long? And then I was like, I have work. I have like an award show I have to go to, and I'm like stuck here in jail. So there were so many crazy things that were supposed to happen.
Now, how long ago was that? Like a year ago?
Oh God, it's been a year now, and everything's dropped. They are so blessed.
So they dropped everything.
They are so blessed that they dropped everything. I would love to see.
So
the
then,
government.
how did you finally get to leave?
Well, they claimed that my fingerprints and everything came back. Nothing, no warrants are out. I'm like, it took you that long. But you know what I realized? I wasn't going to cry or lose my stuff in there because I saw so many adults crying and just like losing their self-worth. I was just like, I got to hold it together for these people. Like, why are these people being crumbled?
So are you sitting in a room, like sitting on a cold bench?
Yeah, I don't do well with steel, concrete, and like a leather maybe mattress. And then I'm allergic to everything that they gave me to eat. So like wheat bread and like just real dairy milk. And I was just like, what am I going to do? Swell up and like just be out of sorts here? So I just like.
So how many hours was it total?
I fasted.
How many hours total were you sitting in there?
I must have been sitting in there from like 1 a.m. till, I think they let me out at like, was it 4 p.m.?
Oh my God.
So yeah, but I felt rejuvenated. Luckily, there was a whole crew of press, and luckily, like, the shiesty person who put me in there was right there to throw me my phone as soon as I got out. So I was so, like...
The shiesty person being this Australian that you thought was a legit business partner?
Well, she was an Australian actress, or trying to be, and I'm just like... So I don't hang out with aspiring actors or aspiring anyone's anymore because... They want to just take somebody else down. You
met these people and you trusted them and believed what they said. And then you were in a situation that wasn't safe.
No, not safe at all. So, but yeah, that hotel has a very big spot of, I don't go there. I don't touch it. I mean, I spent thousands of dollars there that whole day. I posted on Instagram I was there. And I was like, how dare them say that I was trespassing? I had my daughter's birthday party there with their like cake designer and everyone. I was like, wow.
So what do you think the whole intention was behind that?
They want press at the hotel because the hotel security was the one who also connived this whole court situation. And I don't know if the other guy got like a free room that night. I don't know what the kickback was, but definitely wasn't worth trying to overdo a single mom who's like a widow. I just like look at people and I'm like, why would you ever do that to a woman? Like, I just don't understand it.
Oh my God. Okay, so now you have your own place. So you're happy here.
Oh, it's extra secure.
And your daughter is 10.
Yes, Sophia's a big 10. She says double digits. She's so crazy right now. She just got like a set of acrylic nails this weekend in Pittsburgh. We went to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Was that the first time she got nails?
No, it's like the second, maybe even the third. The first time was, I think it was in Singapore. I mean, she's just so in awe of what we can do on our nails.
Yeah. And so she's happy here. She likes her school and everything.
Well, Sophia is online schooled.
Okay.
And she gets so much hate from being online schooled or homeschooled. And there's,
isn't that the whole
20 varieties. Yeah,
isn't that the whole point of homeschooling your kid is so that they're not bullied?
Yes. Well, and I'm so against the bullying thing. But Sophia will be set up. She's like, doesn't pay attention to cyberbullying. Just totally is like overcoming it. So good for her. But yeah.
Well, I saw that she did something where she's like, I'm going to address my haters or whatever.
And by the way, all those haters turned in her Instagram account. And right now I'm dealing with like not having her Instagram deleted because so many haters turned in her Instagram account.
What do you mean, what do you turn in? Like they complain?
They tried to appeal it or say it's owned by an underage person. I'm like, she's a celebrity account. It's verified and her mom is in charge of it. They do this like all the time. But I was like, the haters must have really reacted to that video.
Well, I actually thought it was good because I'm like, you know what? I just had to deal with a bunch of hate the last 2 days. And I'm nothing compared to the level that you or another reality show person might get. I was even just saying to Kelly, I was like, God, do you imagine being on The Real Housewives? Every time there's a fight, they have to wake up the next morning to thousands of people going, I'm team, not you. And you're like, oh my God, there's still 7 other episodes. Leave me the hell alone. And then you have to address all that. And it's so frustrating because someone's saying something negative about you. You're like, but that's not true. And you have to just have the blinders on. And I almost think the fact that your daughter kind of like made like fun of it. Look, this is her life. This is her reality. It's better that she addresses it and gets the thick skin now, because so many kids that are not famous, that are just starting to get into Instagram at 15 or 16, get some cyberbullying and, become suicidal. Right. So it's like, it's not going away.
Yes.
It's something that more and more regular people are going to have to deal with.
And I think it's therapeutic. I think we should, Sophia goes through a lot. We do a lot of family therapy because of her not having her father and also being in the public eye. But I said to Sophia, I'm open to you posting this if it works for you and if you get your feelings out. Social media can be a therapeutic tool.
It can be, because sometimes you could go to therapy and tell someone you're hurting and that one person validates your hurt, or you can go on a post. You can go on a post and say I'm hurting and get thousands of people to write you and make you feel good, give you a compliment, say I empathize, this happened to me too.
Yeah.
You're an inspiration by letting me hear your story. Thank you for sharing your story. And you're right. It can fulfill you more oftentimes than just being in a room across from one person.
Sophia's definitely going through some things. There's a ton of her friends who are 10, or even some of her friends, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then she has her teen group of friends. And so I don't understand with Sophia, though. She gets so much hate, and it's so, crazy that I was like, why are one of her other friends, posting pretty much the same things? Because they all do their little trends, but not one is hate. Not one is anything negative. They encourage it. They're whatever. And I think that's why Sophia's just I don't like this favoritism on one person's and, all this hate here. So whatever works for Sophia and making her feel strong and rising herself up and overcoming this, that's what I'm about.
Right. It's not going away. And
exactly.
And you've chosen to allow her to explore this side of her creativity, is what you said, on social media, as many people do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are really judgy. I mean, every
judgy judges.
Every celebrity I know, they have a baby, and the minute the baby comes out, the baby has her own Instagram account. The baby's selling their favorite bottles.
Right.
So it's so shut up.
I know.
Really, who are you to judge? I always joke that I'm so pissed that my kids are old. I'm I can't exploit them for shit.
Yeah.
I would have bought a baby right
never
now.
Had that opportunity.
Yeah, you better believe I'd be getting every free stroller and working it.
Right?
I believe some people might even, subconsciously or keep it in their brain themselves, have another child because it's going to be help with the income.
Or lucrative.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, definitely with the teen mom situation. There's so many things thrown at us. And I always just am but what, I'm just I could not. A lot of my friends make some really weird choices of, getting with sports players or this or that, money and babies. And I just can't ever I don't know that I can't bring myself to ever do that. It's just
you can never bring yourself to be with someone for monetary means, is what you're saying.
I guess that, I love me some Louis Vuitton shoes and stuff. Okay. I love designer things. I just can't I got a designer vagina. I just can't do that with my relationships and whatever.
When you say you have a designer vagina, you mean that you
do.
You have the, so you had the tightening done or something?
Yes, Dr. Naziri in Beverly Hills. Shout out, girlfriend.
Yeah, the tightening done.
Yeah.
Now, with some of your many adventures,
right? I
remember when you had your butthole made a mold of, right?
Well, I had my vagina made a whole.
Oh, not your.
Probably my butt was included in that, and my vagina was included in that. I'm sure we all love everything of our bodies, but yeah.
And then that was that.
I did a license of that,
right, to sell that product.
Crazy. And you know what?
Is that still available today?
It is right at the moment, but I was my brand has just so changed that I was you gotta guys stop the license.
Okay.
The term has ended, and now they've actually fought to just keep the license. And I'm you guys didn't, legally deal with that. And I made the offer, and you guys chose to decline it because you can't afford it. So I'm the 6 year has gone by. You guys need to stop. So it's so funny how people love those products. They won't let them go. And it's guys, my whole body has changed.
So you want that product to stop being sold, but as long as it's still sold, you are still getting your portion from it.
But here's the thing, different vagina. Our women's bodies legit change, and mine's just gotten better. So I'm why would I sell a thing that's not even as great? But I'm also over it. I actually got bored with the licensing, and I'm learning new ways of international business. I'm going to China for the first time this month, and I'm I don't need to do a license. I can just go do it myself. So I love just entertaining what's next.
Right. And so and after the show is when you did go down this road of some
during
adults.
The show.
During the show is when you started doing some adult entertainment.
Right? Here's the thing. Everyone is and this is also why I left Teen Mom. I don't like women who are projecting with male executives, that, oh my God, we had this grand idea to label Farrah. And the label was, she's a porn star. And I was well, I guess we could say that, but I didn't get a celebrity sex tape deal and make the most out of that yes, I did have sex with a porn star, James Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure other women have too, and I'm sure like he's got some fierce women fans. But I did not, and not in a negative way. I did not have a good situation with that, and karma's a bitch, and it got right back to him in his career. But
how did it get back to him? What do you mean? How was the karma?
I think he lost a lot of contracts because of his abusive behavior and
towards you,
towards women. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about my stuff is settled, but I think what I did was say I'm not going to let other people take advantage, and I still to this day have so many people who take advantage. And men were upset, and when men are upset, it's like we're going to label a woman, we're going to manipulate other women to hate her and say some nasty things. But realistically,
and you believe that the Teen Mom
they did
executives did that? Okay,
that's fine. I mean, it was like the reason why I left.
Right. Okay.
So even though all the other teen moms hated on this, they all poked their own fun in different ways of I would have done it. Like I would have made money off of it. So I was just like, you know what? You guys can either understand what I'm going through or you cannot. But I also really took that opportunity through this and also changing management and some negative things that I went through. I love that I went through it because now I shield my daughter from it. But I took the opportunity to go and do appearances like across the nation, and I got to help other women. I don't know what it is.
Appearances like
it could be at strip clubs.
Right.
It could be at nightclubs. It could be at expos that are for adult only people. I took that opportunity, and
I feel that opportunity helped empower other women that did that.
I don't know what, but that's what I got out of it.
Good.
And if that helped, which I know it did in so many different ways, and conversations with other people's families and understanding what, like their goals and what they're going through and them as a mom, whatever. It helped me. It helped my soul as a woman, and I think I needed to go through it. So
well, let's go. Let me ask you about some of the other people and what you think.
Yeah.
So Janelle was one of the originals with you, right?
No, she is Teen Mom too.
So have you had any connection with her at all? Like, have you had any?
I just supported her makeup release, her eyebrow kit.
So you guys are makeup.
Good. I guess so. I don't.
She was the one who had the dog thing, right?
Yes.
You
know what? I don't bring up the whole like animal abuse when I saw them. I did not bring up the gun violence situations. Here's the thing. I just try to keep it positive because the only way I can exemplify moving forward and changing someone's life is not by dragging them down or crucifying their past. I know they already are working with that. And I just want them to have their kids. I want them to make better choices together. And, I'm keeping it at that example.
And what about your relationship with Amber?
There's no relationship there, thank God.
Were you ever dealing with each other on any level?
The last time that we all saw us together was when she stormed on stage at the last reunion and actually it was a reunion previous because I didn't attend the last one I was a part of. She's storming on stage trying to beat me up. She has her then ex-convict of a boyfriend attack my father. And then you have Caitlin and Macy. I always call them like the Three Stooges. They're just over there saying, beat her ass or beat her up or whatever.
Why was she trying to beat you up?
I don't know because
she's obviously has a violent streak. We just saw the latest. Did you hear the latest that happened?
Management situation.
Yeah.
And I don't condone when everyone of Teen Mom shows up to a court thing that recently just happened, says they support her, but then when a leak comes out, which I'm not surprised because I've heard all this before. I've seen it all. The leak
being her being
she doesn't want to watch her own kid.
Emotionally abusive to her second baby daddy too. That was the tape I heard.
But she's not just like that with baby daddies.
Yeah.
She's like that with every man that she dates. And the other women have supported this unbalancing behavior. And that's why I say when they're shocked and they want to distance themselves, it's all a lie. And I'm tragically devastated to see that someone continues to allow women to behave like this when it's not okay for the kids who are involved that keep being born into this. It's just, I don't know. It really upsets me, and I think I reacted to it because it was sent to me.
To the audio of her yelling at the husband.
It was like, I'm done with it, and if nobody else is going to be honest with her and say something, then great. I'll do a little a IG story, but I don't even care to waste that of my energy with her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some questions from the people. Does Sophia or you have any relationship with her father's parents.
Yes. So Sophia actually got to stay for the first time over Christmas break with Grandpa Jerry, who we all love so much. Like, I love that man. So, instead of waking up on December 28th and feeling sad about what has gone on, it was such a blessing and so healing for everyone for me to fly us into Kansas City, spend the night, wake up. It was a glorious
And have
moment.
him wake up to his granddaughter.
Yeah, so I'm
That's
very
really
blessed.
nice. Why do you call your dad by his first name and not dad?
Yeah, so my dad, my father, Michael, my mom and my dad, I think, have their own tidbits that I think were kind of passed with me. And my sister, being a half-sister, there's a lot of weird stuff I kind of grew up around. And I think for her, Michael, it was like a safe zone. It was comfortable for that. And then my mom and my dad and their arguments and splitting, it just kind of just stuck
So
like
your mom, what is your mom's name again?
Deborah.
So Deborah and Michael are your
Sitting in a tree.
are your
and then they broke
biological
up.
are your biological parents.
Yes.
And your sister comes from whom?
My mom's side with a different dad
After you.
before me.
Oh, before you. So she's a little older than you.
Yeah, so it was
And
definitely
what's your
raised into
relationship
it.
with that girl? Because that sister you've had issues with, right?
I did. But God bless my sister. She's had 2 kids. I'm an aunt, and I'm here to help.
So you're okay with her now?
I just keep everyone all good.
Okay, don't you have boundaries?
My family's a little difficult,
So you
but
feel
I
like
got my boundaries.
That's what I was going to say. You did the boundaries. I saw the episode.
You picked the boundaries, and that's what production doesn't like.
I remember watching the episode where I forgot if you guys were in France or what, but your dad was getting married again, but your mom was also there. Was it France?
Yeah, it was Italy.
Italy.
Positano Coast. Shout out to Capri. Sophie and I just got back from Venice, Italy. But I hooked that up, right? I'm his best man in his wedding in 2 weeks.
So wait, that wasn't his wedding then? That was engagement.
That is his engagement.
That was his engagement.
The grotto.
Okay.
So yeah, now
And that made
finally
it kind of
married.
juicy that your mom was there for the engagement.
Yeah.
I have to say, that was kind of good.
You know, I was like, God, I want my mom to be here. She can't miss out on this. My mom actually got married last October. She's been married a year, and now my dad's getting married this October.
Because I remember seeing something with that where you were not a huge fan of his in the episode.
I mean, he wanted to kind of just tear a girl down. I'm just not a fan of tearing any women down. They're married. I see him at my house I grew up in. I just keep it at that, but I'm not needed. And yeah, it's okay.
Just okay. Okay. So you're not a huge fan of it, but you're dealing. Okay, there was some reality show that you did with Dr. Jen, and she referred to some horrible past trauma, but you wouldn't elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's...
So you shared something with her off camera, and then she wanted to bring it on. What was that? Was that reality boot camp, or what was that?
It was...
Dr. Jen.
All I know is for that show, it was couples therapy, and my boyfriend ditched me, but going into that, and...
Oh, so you ended up doing the show by yourself?
Yeah, which I was so upset. I was actually so hurt. I think I was trying to be an adult woman, and it just was crumbling down. I am very thankful for meeting Dr. Jen at that time in my life. I think, even to this day, okay, I do I don't know. I have relationship books. Greg Michelson, shout out to him. He has some amazing ones for how to, look out to be a woman of value and to look out for only men of value. And I think Dr. Jen really picked me up when I was doing a lot of I didn't know any better. And so now I'm teaching Sophia, so she does know better. So she is, being the valued woman that she can be. And Dr. Jen just, was trying to flip that upside down, especially after the whole taking advantage thing with the sex tape of mine. So yeah, God bless her. Miss her. I got to check in with her.
Wait, the sex tape, that was the thing that you did with in the back seat.
Prior to this.
That was the back seat thing, right? The back door.
I was the back seat.
Wasn't it called the back door with Farrah or something?
Well, I didn't name it, but if you're into it, pull it up.
I'm just trying to remember. You've had a long career. I'm just trying to remember everything.
So prior to that, so I sex therapy was definitely needed in my life at that time. Couples therapy. So but I don't know if there's really that many men out there great enough to even go to the next steps with.
Okay. So this fan said you were amazing. She was amazing on UK Celebrity Big Brother and was close to Jenna Jameson. What happened between them?
Oh my gosh.
Did you enjoy doing that show?
I really love Celebrity Big Brother in the UK. I go to Europe often. I love it there. I would be back, but I did.
So were you sequestered in this house?
Oh yeah, we're all sequestered for 30 days.
Now then who watched your daughter for those 30 days?
My parents. So,
your mom and Michael.
Or great family friends.
That's good.
So there's like so many people lined up to watch Sophia, and I'm so grateful for that because she's such a great daughter. So yeah, they watched her while I was over there. It was really crazy. Big Brother teaches you a lot about like life politics and how to play that, and they try to affect you from the climate to the voice tones that you hear. And then you have people who claim they know how to play a game, and honestly, I only lost Big Brother because the guy, James, who won it, voted me out because he was intimidated. He probably knew I was going to win. So I don't sleep, touch, or get in beds with other people. I do not shit where I eat when I'm on work or like my time of work. But Jenna Jameson, God bless her, she'll have a fiance and she'll go hop into bed with another guy and like kiss all up on him. Like, I don't smooze whatever's going to help me win. I just got to live my life, right? So I think the women I was with the US, UK was versus those two countries, and I had some big names in the house with me. I was honored to be on that cast. I love everyone, but I almost had to detain like half of them, like Janice Dickinson throwing chairs, acting crazy. You just can't be doing that in a different country.
So on the show, I guess she's saying at one time you guys seemed close on the show, but right now, are you in touch at all?
She's left the show. She's had another child. She's moving on with her life.
So, but you guys now, outside of the show, are not friendly or in touch?
I didn't keep in touch. I wish her all the best. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so everyone loved seeing your photos with the richest man in the world, even though half of his money's gone, Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Yeah. Any scoop there? How did it come out? How did you end up getting invited to this Emmy party? And
I went to the Emmy Awards. It wasn't the party. I did love all the Emmy parties. They were amazing, and I loved them. I joined the Television Academy. I happened to get a ticket. Great. For some reason, I think it was like Hugh Grant or whoever. We ended up having the same tickets, oddly. And I don't know. God is just so good to me and my focus on my career right now. And I don't know how I just ended up getting an amazing ticket, how Jeff Bezos is right there by me. And I'm just like, hi, this is my first awards. I introduced myself, and he was one of the only men there, I'm going to say this, who can just be free and live and do as they please, just like I do. And he's like, sure, let's take photos. Let's talk later. Let's, whatever. I am a business person. He's a business person. So
if he asked you out, would you go?
Oh, is that? Oh, you're just like, excuse me. Here's a question.
Oh, yeah, of course. Would you go on a date? If it was not at the Beverly Hills Hotel, would you go on a date with Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, I say let's like hop on a plane and take a ticket out of the country. I think he definitely should explore that since he got out of a marriage recently, I heard.
Yes, he got out of his marriage because he was cheating with this other woman, but then that relationship ended as well. So he's single. Yes.
Well, God bless Jeff Bezos, and good for him being single, and he needs to go have some fun.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wait. Like some of these, I'm going to skip.
And I have to say though, like TMZ was like twisting it because I didn't know. Like Harvey was like the other woman in his life. It's just like I don't know what's going on. I didn't see him with a woman, and I'm just being me.
No, I don't think taking a photo with someone and talking with someone at a party is anything. No. But I mean, it was a great photo, and it was like, what's she doing? Good. I'm glad you saw someone.
The awards were real.
Yeah, when you're at an event like that, you absolutely can approach everyone at that event because you're all of an exclusive invited event. So there's
and we're
no
right there. We're all sitting with the best of the best Emmy winners.
You'd be crazy now. And sometimes when you're in those situations, I've been in those situations, it is a lot of stress because you're like, Heather, go. talk to them. Like it's effort to go talk, take a photo,
But
get
you
the
know
photo
what? It
because
was
you're
so
constantly
weird, though.
networking.
Yeah, it was so weird that like people were like stressed or whatever, and I'm just like relaxing. I was just pretty much like, the other actors need to get out of my seat. I gotta sit, and that's why someone made me get up. And I was like, I'm wearing a dress, like I'm gonna have to walk out of the aisle, and then Jeff was right there. I really feel like if it wasn't people making like bothering me, I wouldn't have been in that situation. I guess I don't know, like. Some actors, it's like they're wild animals. Like they really act wild, and I'm just like
Because they
brought up
because
to
you
be
feel
contained and controlled.
because
Like,
you feel that they in those situations have to be so calculating.
no, they're
like in
just.
talking to
I
people,
feel
or-
like a lot of actors who should really have great careers and whatever were like clawing on other actors and like being really crazy. Like, why are you approaching someone from behind and trying to get on SNL? There's some really weird behaviors that I saw, and I'm like. I'm not asking everyone for photos. I'm not going to do deals with everyone here. I'm very specific. I'm very focused as a business person. But it was just kind of like out of character to see how some did not have etiquette at the awards. And I've also felt the laughter and the behavior from the audience towards the Kardashians was like out of character. I'm like, this is the Emmy Awards, people. Can we please act classy? That's all I was.
You
I'm
thought,
about
you thought
a
it was
classy
you thought it was
experience.
rude. You thought it was rude.
There was some really weird, rude, outlandish behavior that I saw, but I really enjoyed it. It was different. Fox hosted it this year, and I love it.
I mean, I think it is really different. And reality show stars, for so long, I think actors kind of shit on them and was like,
they still do probably.
Yes, because it's not a real thing. But then at a certain point, it's like, look, everyone's entertaining. You're being entertained by them, and I think more and more. High-profile movie stars are admitting to loving reality TV and being excited to see someone that they
connect with.
That's
maybe.
you or on a housewife show or whatever, and it's not shameful to say, "Yeah, I watched this show. It's entertaining. It's put together. It's well." Doesn't mean I'm not intelligent. That I don't love the show. Yeah. So I think. I think there's still some of that weird snobbery. I always say, like
Vivica Fox really got me. I mean, I even went on her show.
Yes, I
to
saw
help her out.
The Truth, right? Yeah, the Truth show,
which was not about the truth. I mean, clearly canceled, discredited. All the
Is the show off now?
Went out the window. Yeah, it's off.
Okay.
But
that for people who don't know, it's a daytime talk show that had like 4 different women, and then someone come up and tell their story about cheating or whatever, and then they would like berate them like different judges to say tell the truth, right?
Right.
Okay.
But instead, they had someone on their show, which is me, who always tells the truth. It says it 100, and for some reason, they wanted to make me out to be like I'm on drugs. I'm lying to my mom. I'm this. I'm that. I'm the other. And I was like, lady panel. We don't attack me. Like, I'm not having it, and I got better things to do. And then it was just like, oh my God. Like, they were upsetting my daughter. They were upsetting my mom. And I'm just like,
because they were both there with you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Vivica Fox, even in her like 106 in Park or whatever, she was on like some radio thing, had to act because like she's an actress or she's this. That she can like use me, which is for press, to shit on me because I'm just at the time was mostly and only reality, and I was just like, you know what though, I treat you more of like a peer, but if you want to cause negativity, it's like that's your own scenario. But after her show got canceled, then she like brings up like a year later, and she says that I wanted to fight with her or like physically touch her, and I'm like. I never said that. I would never even want to touch a human being after everything I've been through. I don't understand why people can't just see others for who they are. I'm not saying all reality is created equal. Definitely not. I have people attack me on reality shows. I have people who act nuts. Janice Dickinson, I had to detain her. But there's like...
What do you say detain her? You mean cops or what? Who
like
detained
out
her?
of the country because she had to throw a chair at me and act
at
crazy
the Big Brother.
Yeah, there was the only... the bits on the side show got taken off the air because... half the women stood up and attacked me. Jenna, because me and Jenna were together, she like had to hoist me out of there and call the cops and like get us out. Like, it was like, be for women or be against women. And like, they had to write me letters and apologize to get out of the country. So it was really nuts. So
wait, Janice Dickinson was arrested and detained, or
yeah, and 3 other women.
And
they tried to say it was pantomime. They tried to say it was acting for TV, but it's like, that's not acting when you choose to get out of control. So they were like, I've heard every kind of excuse of getting out of bad behavior when it comes to me.
So going forward with other career things that you have going on, what are some are like what's the future holds? What are you hoping, or what other shows would you like to do, or what do you have lined up?
I mean, okay, when it comes to reality TV, I mean, God, can someone please get me on Dancing with the Stars already?
That's what you want to do?
I think that's overdue. I got my shoes ready, but it's overdue. I would love to be on it. And I think Sophia, like Dancing with the Stars Juniors, I would love to see Sophia. She's so good at what she does. I'd love to see Sophia on like MasterChef Juniors. All the kid shows are so much fun. And I mean, I guess it's just like that age. Like they're 5th grade, they're 10. I want to see Sophia do everything. So I'm pumped. But mostly I've been screenwriting. I've been focused on my first feature film. I've been traveling around the globe.
So you've written a movie.
I'm third round into it. It's intense to do things right. But I hope to inspire.
Would you star in that too, or just sell it?
I think everyone's like, we need you in it. They want to send it for like the package of it. So I, of course, will be in it. But I, of course, want to cast some new actors. I, of course, want to cast some Emmy Award winning actors that I got to meet at the Emmys. Like, there's a lot of great things to come. And I'm super excited. I mean, if I can play roles, I'd love to. I'd especially love to play a sex scene role because everyone loves to throw that sex type of mind in my face. So more power to me. But yeah, I don't really know. I think acting is like, I love it.
Have you taken acting lessons?
I've been doing, Barbizon way back when. No, I've been doing like Groundlings, Upright Citizens Brigade.
Oh, that's right.
I've literally been like,
you like it?
I mean, if you've been doing it for 10 years, I've been doing it for over 10 years. I'm super pumped to actually just do the full on career, in that if I can, between everything else I got. But yeah.
And what are some of the other stuff? I know, did you own like yogurt shops or restaurants or something?
Yeah, I had 3 stores that I opened up. I had dreams. I have dreams and aspirations, people. I had a furniture store, a children's boutique with Sophia, and a frozen yogurt store and online stores. And it literally was a dream of mine, but it also took over that community and kind of like turned out to be an unsafe situation.
Where were those businesses held?
It was in Austin, Texas, a suburb of Austin. So everybody for South by Southwest for years came out, and we had so much fun with our fans. But yeah, the liability, and I think being a celebrity with a brick and mortar is insane.
Right.
So those ended, but thank you.
So you did say you want more children once you find the right guy.
Yes, if that ever happens. But I can adopt. I've always been open to adopting. All my neighbors were adopted growing up, so there's a lot of good you can do there.
So you think one day you might adopt, either with a partner or on your own?
Sophia is open to adoption. I mean, I can do it on my own. I can do anything on my own, I've seen. Yeah.
This was a question, I don't even know what this is about, but this is a question from a Juicy Scooper. What's the scoop with your producer? Heather, I think her name was. Mm-hmm. She was fired for being too close to you.
And I think that was...
Or that's what they thought.
Yeah,
and
that was done in the wrong way, and the executive who was trying to influence people in a very negative light has left Viacom finally, so thanks to that. Heather is an amazing friend. She's an amazing producer. Even after I've left and even after they separate us, we stay in touch. I just saw her actually in New York Fashion Week, because Sophia always gets booked for work there. Heather flies in and we always see each other. So Heather's great, and Heather keeps being like, can I work on these projects I'm working on? So we'll see. We'll all transform.
Well, why would there be an issue if you were close to the producer? Because they thought that skewed the reality if you were close to a producer?
Well, in my case, no one could skew my reality of how close I would be with them. Like, my family knows, everyone knows. There's a fine line of work time and there's family time. I'm a Gemini. I can separate things real quick.
When's your birthday?
May 31st.
I'm June 14th.
Okay, yes. So no one could be close enough to me. I always take my personal space very serious. And that was a misalignment of words, because too close, and they did use that very harshly, I would say.
The executives.
And I don't agree with people, especially when things are lies. Because we have Amber Portwood, who was set up from her godmother, producer, and who helps name their kids.
Wait, she made one of the producers her godmother to her child?
Yes.
Okay.
And Caitlin and Taylor as well. And, that same person who hooked up Amber with this Andrew Glennon, who is now,
the person she's screaming with.
Yeah, screaming with. That's too close. But I would never allow production or anyone to affect who I date, my personal relationships with my parents. And that's why I went to my mom's wedding. You know, they tried to make some conflicts, and
the producers try to make conflicts with you attending the wedding?
Yes. So I live, and I very much know, I live with the choices, no matter if it's on TV, because after a TV show, you have to live with your consequences. And I say every day you make the right choice, and relationship-wise as well. And I think also hiring, firing, working with people for a couple years nonstop, I realized that even more. So yeah, that was very harsh for Heather.
Well, I found it really interesting because one of the things I've often seen that I liked about Teen Mom, and like I said, I haven't watched it all the way along, but I've watched enough of it. Yeah. But I often refer to what I like about it is that you guys have always broken the fourth wall, and that the producer would say, what happened? And you kind of see the producer and they're walking in. If you're on a phone call and you're upset, you actually see the person come in and have a conversation with you. And I've always said, I think there's certain shows that in order to keep the interest of the audience, they should incorporate more of that, because it's like we're aware of this. And sometimes the most interesting stuff is the fact that even though you're this teen mom, you're also now this entrepreneur, and we're going to see that you're going on this thing, and something happened with filming of that. Like they're just starting to do it now on Housewives, and I think they need to do it on everything, because the audience is too sophisticated. So in order to keep their interest, you have to kind of have that back and forth. So I find that really interesting, that they had an issue with the fact that you had become close with one of the female producers as a friend.
So, I mean, it was basically a lie because they were losing control on the back end. But the thing of the producers breaking the fourth wall, producers like to be even more scripted than anyone else, even when they're hired to only do a reality show and document what they see. When I got let go, I literally watched that last episode and I saw a complete fake scene. A producer who wasn't even allowed to work on my crew talk negatively about me, say don't show up, say don't do this stuff. So when you break the fourth wall and you lie about the cast members and people who you're supposed to care about and you're working with, that to me is abuse of a fourth wall. That is a complete lie. Again, reality TV watchers, my fans, even my haters who watch, know like there is a abrupt lie and there's some shadiness going on there. So
what was the reason that they said we're not going to renew you for the next year?
Well, we ended up stopping filming early, so I didn't even complete the season. There was an argument, basically that was tied in with brand. My brand was outgrowing the Teen Mom thing. There was something of mine that was being premiered the same day as the Teen Mom premiere. Keep in mind, no one talks to me.
You mean another TV show you were doing?
And they didn't like that. It was like a one-off thing I was hired to promote and do press for.
And it was going to fall on the same day of the premiere of the show, and they felt their thing should take precedent, and that shouldn't happen. Yes. Okay.
And I had no communication prior to that. I was not allowed to know the premiere dates. I was not allowed. So I'm like, you know what?
How would you have known?
I was like, you guys like blindly come at me and you're like attacking me about this, and Farrah Abraham stuff, like we'll search louder than that because of the day that you guys chose it. If we're gonna argue about this stuff, it's out of my hands. You guys should have communicated. And I was like, if you want me to go cancel this and this contracted thing, then you have to pay me for it. They didn't want to correct it or make it right, and I was like, well, then it's out of my hands. It's gonna just go how it's gonna go. So yeah, we got in an argument over, to me, that's a little pathetic thing. To somebody else, that was a big thing. And I mean, they ended up, paying for that.
What does she think about the issues surrounding Amber Portland? Oh, we kind of talked about this. She thinks that, do you think it's fair that MTV keeps her on the show, or now is she off, do you think, after this latest thing? Do you think they'll keep her on?
There's a lot of criminal activity allowed on this show. There's a lot of things that I would never do.
Like, who was the one guy that we saw just completely wasted, someone's baby daddy that was wasted while driving?
Ryan was having a severe drug problem.
Yeah.
I heard so much about that. So, I mean, again, I don't know where I step out of line ever, other than doing amazing for my own brand, and the executives like hate on that, and that's why we get in arguments. But yeah, I don't know really why other people are allowed to stay on when they're like not safe to be around, and like I don't even know. It's just crazy.
So if they came back and said, we heard you on Juicy Scoop, and you sounded like a real delight, and we now have new EPs in charge of whatever they would call it, OG or whatever, would you do
Well,
it?
Heather,
But
you
they
don't
say,
watch it. You don't watch. So like, if I did like
no, I know you came back, but I'm
entertain
saying,
it.
yes,
But
you
I'm
did.
like, I'm trying to entertain this because of the fans, because of everyone
Right.
who loves this, because it was such like a legacy. It was like
Right.
amazing. But I'm like, I do not share an OG original cast series with, to me, super fans of Teen Mom who probably had a child just to get on this show. And again, things have changed with this show. They were supposed to be screened so that they weren't hiring people who were just having babies to be on this show.
Literally,
Like
trying to get pregnant to get on the
yes,
show.
and I've experienced it. Like a Chelsea Huzica, like she's over there messaging me, wants to meet me. She's like worried about if people are ever going to even recognize her when her episode airs. And like she comes and visits me in Omaha when I live there. The super fanness, I can't understand why I was even famous for being a teen mom. And I was going through so much loss and I was going through so much pain. I would never want that for any other female to ever experience or have bad relationships or have people use her like I have. I don't ever wish that. But I feel like there is this hunger that I've seen from being on like MTV's Single AF, X on the Beach that I was on this year on MTV. I see this unreal, and I almost is like disgusted by it. This hunger of wanting to be so famous from the challenge people, from these other shows that they mixed with me. And I still took over the whole cast. It's because I am not dying to go be famous. Fame does not equal happiness to me. And I think these people who
I
babies
think
are
you,
like,
but I think you
wanting
already
that.
are famous. So that is not something you need to attain. These other people that might come on a show with you that are much less known, they are hoping to attain what you already have. So I think that's why
you can't do that though, like through having children and like let yourself go on your own path and find that fame in an authentic way. It just comes off to me in a very hurtful way of how I'm seeing it. And that's why I also said recently, I'm super picky with reality shows that I'm going to like entertain and be a part of anymore, because I didn't want to be a part of like those fan bases where it comes off very like hungry, desperate.
Yeah.
Well, it's destructive. It just is like destructive to me. And I don't want people, you work hard for something, you're skilled, you deserve all the success in the world. You go have a relationship and have a baby and like we're on another MTV show and angle yourself to get on Teen Mom, like that just disturbs me to the highest power. So again, if MTV thought to put me in a situation with girls who came from the challenge and had a baby and I see them out and they're trying to use my name and get in parties and like act like they're famous and they're like, oh yeah, we'll take Farrah's paycheck. Take the paycheck, take the whole show, and I'm apart from it. But half the people don't even watch the show anymore and they don't know that these people are even on the cast. So I've spoken very loudly. I don't come back to shows that have people on there who don't deserve to be there. And I'm sad that I have to say that because I know it affects a child. That paycheck affects a child.
Right.
And that's why I said, you know what? It's probably better I don't come back because I wouldn't want to hurt a child. Really, at the end of the day, it's hurting a child. And it's just like, I don't even want to be put in that situation.
So what's the biggest misconception about you?
I don't know. What's the conception I haven't talked about?
I would think, what I think is that, that you are so outspoken and that you do get asked to be on all these reality shows because you do bring great TV. You don't hold back. You're honest. Something pisses you off.
Let's live our best lives.
You're animated to watch, but I think that's, and also your level of fame and the audience is familiar with you from several of these shows. So I think that's why you keep getting these offers.
Inner spirit animal.
But now you're kind of saying like, okay, you've done all these couple therapy have you done the boot camp one?
No, I did family boot camp their first season. God bless that. I needed it.
So family boot camp, the couples one by yourself, the X on the Beach.
I've had the best therapist
Brother.
in the world. And even leaving Vivica's crazy little shenanigan show of hers, they gave me like 6 months of therapy. And I was like, oh my God, this is so great.
And you took advantage of it.
Of course I did.
That's good for you.
I mean, I can only better myself. And after, court making me take anger management so many times because of what they put me, I'm like, so I get to
You have to take anger management because of the Beverly Hills hotel thing?
I'm like, so I have to, and I did 50 hours of community service.
What did you do for that?
Because they didn't release the whole Batterment thing yet. Well, so I actually spent my time at a animal society, and I actually really met some great kids. I influenced their careers. I was like, I'll do this as like consulting too on this side. So I really had a blast. I really had so much fun. And life just takes you to these crazy extremes.
And so you said you did write a book. I remember that.
Yeah, and that's what my movie is based off of that I'm writing, is taking my New York Times bestselling memoir, My Teenage Dream Ended, and turning that into a feature film right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I cannot wait.
That's great. So someone already bought those rights. You went with someone to write it, to sell it.
I am definitely finishing writing it.
Good.
I'm not hopping yet on selling it. I got some great things. So whatever it ends up with, we will all be very happy. Whether it's Amazon or whether it's Paramount, we'll figure it out.
All right. Well, when you go on your date with Jeff Bezos at the Beverly Hills Hotel, you'll now have
They don't get my business.
You'll now have a new beautiful memory for when you guys fell in love.
Oh, my Lord.
You bought your movie. Farrah, thank you for coming out to Calabasas.
Thank you for having me.
You were very interesting.
It's been very juicy here
It's been
today.
very juicy. Thank you for answering everything. And thank you so much. Everyone knows how to follow Farrah. Follow her on Instagram and follow the next great adventure.
Yes. Much love. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Oh, hello.
Hello.
We're going to get all the juicy scoop from your girl, Farrah.
Oh, my God. It's another Heather. We love our Heathers.
Oh,
good. Juicy Scoop is in the house, and the domestic goddesses will be getting it. Okay, love you guys. We're going to go live here, and I guess you're going to see it maybe tomorrow.
You're going to hear it and see it tomorrow.
Hear it and see it. See
Yes.
it and hear it. Love you. Okay, Woman Crush Wednesday. Is Heather my crush? Heather's my crush. Okay.
Oh, my God. Brunettes unite. Okay.
Yes.